All right. We are live, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, girls and boys of all ages. Welcome to another episode of Smash Time's Lead Therapy, where we talk about all things 2A. Real quick, today's live is sponsored by ESAD Arms. If you're in the Houston, Texas area, please patron ESAD Arms. It's a fantastic gun shop just north of Spring, Texas, in the Woodlands, just off the 45 freeway. Great guys. And if you follow the channel, you know I deal with them quite a bit. So today we're going to do a SHOT Show recap 2023. And we have our very first guest waiting in the wings, the one, the only, Dan, the firearm guy.
Hey, what's happening? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, sure. My pleasure.
So how did you feel about SHOT Show in general? Because I know last year you were kind of not too into SHOT Show.
Last year, it's not that I wasn't into it. SHOT Show wasn't into me. It was horrible. And the reason I say that is because so many manufacturers pulled out and we had no idea of it. This year, outside of SIG, they were all there. The big ones. And many of the small ones.
CMMG wasn't there too.
Yeah, but I recall CMMG having two separate booths, one small one on the upper level or on the lower level and one small one on the upper level. So they had a decent presence there. Okay, but they pulled out. That's correct. And that's not unusual. Every year there are certain aspects that cause a company to pull them out. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes they're working on other projects, whatever the case. But the big ones were there, and it was so much better than years past. Yeah. I mean, not years past, last year.
Yeah. Let's check the chat real quick, see what we got in here. We got Brandon, Me the People, my buddy from Dallas, Brett J, Salt to the Earth man right here. Love this guy. Texan 65, Space Daddy Central, Fluffy. Oh, good old Fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
Flying Rich, my man from Miami. My Jimmy. Well, not really Miami. Close enough. If you're in Florida, I just call you Miami. JC9, Gort, Vanessa Kitty, Rich with a $2 super chat. And he has a question because he stayed in the Mardi Gras too. He goes, Dan, how is your room? Apparently he hated his.
Oh, I love it. I love Mardi Gras. Every year I go there, and I jumped around the first couple of years. I jumped around. I was all over the place. Once I was over 3 miles away, and I walked it there and back every day, as well as the floor while there. But I think Mardi Gras with this year was the walk was extended because the road was closed. That meant the sidewalk was closed. It added at least an additional half mile to the walk, but typically it's about 3/4 of a mile. It was about between 1.25 miles and 1.5 miles each way. But the Mardi Gras, the good thing about that, Rich, is that it's very inexpensive and the food is really good.
Yeah.
And so I think it's great. If I brought my family, I wouldn't take them there. But for me by myself, the internet's good. The what do they call that? Resort fee is cheap. And I think it's a great place to stay.
Yeah, what's funny? I do not have a bad meal in Vegas. I mean, it might be expensive, but right. Everything I ate there was amazing.
Yeah. It's funny because the first night we went to the burn pit.
Yeah.
Then we went back to somewhere in the Venetian. I got a cheeseburger. The night after that, I went back to my hotel. I got a cheeseburger. The night after that, we had the event at the Nerd in Old Vegas, and somebody had a whole box of White Castles. I had 3 cheeseburgers. and then I ate lunch with you at Yardbird. And what'd I get?
A cheeseburger.
A cheeseburger.
God, that was a great cheeseburger.
3 days.
A $20 cheeseburger, folks, but God dang it.
25.
Oh, yeah. Well,
they put that little bacon or some pork on there. It was good.
Yeah, it's a regular cheeseburger, and they put like a thick slice of like pork. Oh, my God, it was good.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, we got my man Dale. He might come next year. M. Gabriel, Fluffy. All right, great. Let's check. Will, my man, I still got your MP5 here, buddy. It's I took it out of the safe. It's sitting right here. I was gonna drive it up to you tomorrow. Let's see. All right, I think we got Nutty's in here. Great. We covered the chat. So I thought SHOT was great, and it's funny. I stayed at Harrah's, which is across from the SHOT Show venue, and I realized on the very last day, if you walk out of Harrah's and go through the parking garage, you can go right into the Caesar Forum.
That's cool.
It cuts about, I mean, it's literally a 6-minute walk from the room to the venue, which is amazing. I found that on day 4, so I didn't get to enjoy it.
Well, let me give a little shout out to the SHOT Show crew, because last year I ripped them to pieces on video, and last year was the first time they opened up Caesar's Forum. And what that did was spread everything out so much greater, so that not only did you have more room at Caesar's Forum, but the main floor and even the bottom floor at the Venetian, the Sands Convention Center, was a little more spread out. And I credit that to Caesar's Forum. They had to build that bridge. That was never there before. And I don't know if it was already built prior to that, but it made the event better. A little more walk-in, but that's okay, because I think the people at Caesar's Forum, they enjoyed being there.
Yeah. I thought it was really nice, but let's get another perspective in here.
Yeah.
So not only do we have Dan the Man, we also have Kyle from GearKnowHow, kind of a younger perspective. I think Kyle's gone 3 times a SHOT. You've gone 8 or 9.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. And I've gone twice. This year was my second time. So Kyle, welcome to the chat.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, your audio sounds extra crispy. I like that.
Crispy.
You must have more than a $5 mic like I have.
No, it's a $7.
Oh, $7.
Yeah.
Nice. So what did you think about SHOT? Where did you stay? You stayed at Harrah's, right?
I did, yeah, Harrah's. And I saw you guys talking about the Caesar Forum Bridge and all that. I think it was great. I mean, Harrah's is only a 10-minute walk to the central part of Venetian. Like you said, 5-6 minutes to Caesar's Forum. Easily to get to. It was good. It's only my second time. Only second.
Oh, it
shot.
is your second time.
Yeah, the 2 years ago it didn't happen, and then last year I ended up not getting to go.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. So we're both second timers. All right. So the big question, Dan, you weren't looking forward to this gun, and I thought it was like the surprise of the show when I picked it up and held it. And I thought I kind of want it, and it's the Rock Island 5.0, the square barrel.
No, I'm not looking forward to it at all. And even after I felt it, I am looking forward to it even lesser than my original thoughts.
Tell me how you really feel.
Well, I kept hearing that the trigger is so amazing. Okay. And I couldn't wait to see and feel the trigger. So I pull the trigger. And I may even make a video on this, because it is identical. I mean, identical. It's very unique. I will give them that. It's very unique, but it's identical to my Grand Power Q100. It just squeezes. There's no wall, and it just squeezes real softly to the brake, and a little bit of over travel. Now the slide is very tight. That squared off barrel's a little unique, but it's not a game changer. Like I don't see what the big deal is. Maybe it decreases recoil. I don't know.
You got to shoot it. You got to shoot it. Kyle, what do you think about it?
So actually, I'm looking it up right now. I did go to the Rock Island booth, and I checked out that 5.0. And on day 3, the sample that they had, the trigger was busted.
Oh, man.
How many let's see, dry fire should be what, 10,000, 20,000? You know, come on, guys. Like,
and they left it out there.
They left it out there.
To see.
Yep.
It was bad.
The optics ready and the non-optics ready. The non-optics ready did work. It was kind of gritty though, so I'm thinking it was on the way out. But the optics ready option didn't work at all.
See, on day 4, I went there that morning, and they had both of them out there working great. So they must have
switched them out. Yeah. But I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Well, is it true that they're going to make a limited production of optic readies? And are the optic readies $1,300?
I wouldn't pay $1,300 for that.
No.
No, not even close. You know, I was unimpressed, and I'm sure it's fine. Of course, you have to shoot it, but based on the hype that was delivered, and based on what I felt in my hands, for $1,000, I was unimpressed.
Yeah.
And now I'm hearing the trigger broke. And the one thing I heard was how good the trigger is, but it breaks. And that same exact trigger is modeled. I'm telling you, it's the exact same thing. If we could hold a gun, I'd show you guys. You may not have experienced the Grand Power Q100, but it's the exact same trigger. I felt this. I'm like, I felt it before. This is the exact same thing. So that's my thought on that gun. I think it's overpriced. I like the idea that it's made in Utah, American made. That's good. They typically import their shotguns from Turkey and their
Philippines
handguns from the Philippines and
Exactly.
and their revolvers from Czechoslovakia. Okay, so Rock Island is basically an importer. A couple of years ago, they made their own shotgun. I think that's cool. I think that they're making the 5.0 themselves. I think that's cool. I'd like to see more of that. But I don't know that one's going to be a game breaker, much like the other one they came out with. The metal frame was a big deal. I can't remember the name of it, but that was supposed to be a big deal. And since its launch, I haven't heard a thing about it. Nothing.
Kyle, it looks like you have a Minecraft visitor.
I do. And actually, since the launch, I got their card that said like who the distributor is, and they were saying there's only like a handful a day being produced, if that. So it's going to be a while to get anything.
So, Kyle, what was the gun that surprised you most at SHOT Show?
Oh, I think a lot of the stuff that PSA is doing, I think we heard about some of the stuff they're doing, but them to be innovating in the terms of like taking on old projects like the STG-44, right? I think that was really cool. I think it's, it's a unique gun. It's not going to be for everyone, of course. It's very heavy. I mean, it's an old design, right? It's going to be pretty pricey, but it is really cool. Their Jackal, which I've been waiting to get one. I've been waiting, though, for the 16-inch, but then I hear they're coming out with a 13.5 pinned. Am I still there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So they have a 13.5 pinned with the chemo adapter for suppressors. That's pretty sick because that shortens it up and you don't have to worry about anything with that one. And of course, there's one other company I thought was really cool, Bond Arms. They're coming out with that lever gun that takes AR mags. And that opens up.
I heard about it.
That's cool. That opens up to a whole new thing that a lot of people would be interested in, I think.
Dan, what about you? What did you find? What shocked you? What not surprised you? Like, wow, this is actually really nice.
Well, I will mention this SHOT Show as a whole. It seemed to me this year more than any other time I've been there that they did not launch anything new outside of PSA. So most of the new launches were in the YouTubers' hands or the print articles' hands prior to SHOT. It's a marketing strategy that changed prior based on years past. I really liked the new Rossi revolvers. I believe 3.5 3-inch barrel, 357 Magnum. Very inexpensive. I like it. They have the hammer or the firing pin on the hammer. They're keeping some of that tradition with the Rossi revolvers. Okay, that's with Taurus, but it does have its own entity. Rossi also has a lever gun and 44 Magnum. I'm interested in that as well. Huge lever gun fan myself. I've got a Remington Marlin in 357, but that I don't know if there's anything that really shocked me, but I did enjoy the variety.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. It was fun. Let's check the chat real quick. Let's see. Space Daddy Central. I don't like any of those Laugo.
Oh, yeah.
I got to shoot one.
I shot one too. Yeah. I shot the Creator. He was talking about Creator. That's like the new 2023 hotness. It's good. I mean, it's
what was the one they released like 2 years ago? I shot one, the Alien.
Just the Alien logo. Yeah. This one's the Alien Creator. but it's like more expensive, but it's like has bronze pieces to it. It's kind of cool. I mean, I did a little
Yeah.
video on it, but it's super fancy.
No way. Rich says 5.7. You know, I was really
Yeah.
excited to go check that out, but after looking at it, it didn't really look like it was put together too well. Like the slide to frame fit looked real wonky. Did you guys check it out?
I did, yeah. I
Did you
think
like it, or
there's a couple of videos already from production models. It's not just the ones that are there. So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe it's just something they threw some prototypes in there. I don't know, but I thought it was pretty nice. I mean, it seemed fitted pretty well. Maybe they'll fine tune it a bit.
Well, Smith & Wesson may not fine tune it a bit because they haven't been fine tuning much lately.
Yeah.
And their customer service has been taking a hit lately, and rightly so. And so I would like to see nothing more than Smith & Wesson excel, but it seems to me their biggest problem is Smith & Wesson, and some of their launches in the past have been a thumbs down. Now, I did check this out, and nothing struck me as amateur or needed help. I actually would like one. So we'll see. Now, right next to it was the metal frame. Maybe it's me, but when a company that typically produces their Striker Fire models in polymer, and then they come out with a metal frame, it's not a big deal. I just don't see the hype in it. And to get a metal frame gun, look, what's so unique and interesting about that? So I think that's overpriced, much like the 5.0, but I did kind of like, I have to give them credit. I did kind of like the 5.7.
John Crump with a $5 super chat. He says, "Hey, now you are an all-star." God, so he calls me Smash Mouth. So he has a lot of Smash Mouth jokes. I love it.
I remember last time this guy, I think it was him who was putting in those super chats with gut. So that could be 5.0.
Oh, it could be 5.0. You're right. It could be 5.0.
Because last time he gave you $2.23.
Well, heck, I'm an all-star now. If John Crump's in my chat, I'm honored, sir. Absolutely honored. So, what did you guys think of the Canic booth? Like the MC is the MC9, the Compact 9 comes with a ton of stuff for $399. That's pretty hard to beat.
I liked it. I very much liked it. I think Canic, they're moving in the right direction. Seldom. Now I'm told Century Arms has poor customer service. I never had to experience it, but I like what Canic's doing. They are coming up with stuff that people want. A couple, the SFX, the Rival, the Mate, kind of like the same pattern, but they're making them a little bit different anyways. They're making them optic ready, and they're still giving a lot for the money. So I like what they're doing. I like the direction they're going in. When Canic first came on the scene, they had a $300 gun that was going to be the next Glock killer, much like the Dagger. And then they started doing all this Cerakote, and you'd go to the Canic booth and it would be nothing but blue, red, green, yellow guns. Yeah. Now they're actually producing guns that people want, and it's a drastic change from 5 years ago or 6 years ago.
I tell you, Canic only made one fumble that I know of, and it's making that all white SFX. That thing is terrible. It gets dirty so quick. You shoot it twice, and it looks so nice until you shoot it. Then it looks real grungy and dirty. A buddy of mine has one, and he hates shooting it. But other than that,
I have one.
You have the white one?
Yeah.
This is so once you shoot a couple mags, it gets real gnarly.
It does. I mean, what the end does, and like the whole first inch of the slide and barrel definitely get a little gnarly. Yeah, but I mean that's any white gun like that. That's why you see people actually do run Arctic kits like that. They're gonna have kind of a little bit of black splash in there too. And
yeah, don't buy white guns, folks.
Yeah, unless you live in the snow, stormtrooper style.
Right. All right. So, what was the most disappointing gun, Dan? I want to know, what did you see where you were like, "Oh my god, this is not good at all"?
Oh, interesting question.
Besides the Rock Island, we already know you poo-poo on that one.
Yeah. Give me a minute to think about that, because I saw that the some of the prices were disappointing for what you got.
Oh yeah.
But I
Oh, we're
don't
gonna get
nothing.
to that. We're gonna get to that price point
Okay.
questions. Kyle, what about you? Did you see anything you were
Yeah.
like, meh?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm on the same page with Dan about the price point stuff. But we'll talk about that. I mean, just a lot of stuff seems kind of weird, but the I think disappointing. I don't know. I love what the Canic has done with a lot of stuff. I think.
All right, what about non-gun?
Well, I
Any
was going to
product
say
that you were
I
like,
think
eh.
Magpul came out with a folding pistol from Zevtech, right? Did you
Mm,
see that, the FC9?
yes.
So it's cool, but what I'm thinking is like, what is it trying to capture here? Like, it's not. It's like one of those folding pocket guns that look like a cell phone, right? Which I mean, that's cool too, and it breaks up the shape. This one's bigger. I mean, I don't really know like their strategy behind it or who's going to really want to use it. I'd get one because it's just cool.
I think they're
But
like $1,800 too.
yeah, that's the thing. That's another part of the price point, right? I mean, it's and like their prototypes they had, if you tried them out, I mean, it's a Zevtech, which is nice, but the polymer is just kind of thrown together around it. So that was kind of an interesting find. But
Did
it
you see
wasn't.
that one, Dan?
No, but something
It's
came
that
to
little
mind.
square suitcase deal. That's the one you're talking about, right? And
Yeah,
then it just
yeah.
unfolds into like a pistol.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked cool, but not for that price.
The
That's
market,
pretty
yeah, a couple
pricey.
grand.
That's
Yeah.
like Demolition Ranch. Buy it just because.
And
you know.
shoot an ice block with it.
And I got another Magpul. So what really bummed me out was I wanted to see was the DACA case, that modular case they have for
Yeah.
rifles.
You don't
Junk.
like it?
I hated it. I thought it was,
Why?
for one, it's so expensive and
It is.
it looks so cheesy.
But it does fill an issue where if you have multiple hunting rifles that you want to kit out and carry somewhere and transport through like on the airlines or something, then it makes it a little bit easier to change it up. But it is expensive. It's going to be like $130, I think, for the base kit, $150 for the larger kit, and then you still have to buy extra pieces at $20 a little bag for a few of them. I mean, I don't know.
Wrap it in a towel.
Yeah.
Throw it in a suitcase.
A lot of
Be a
people don't
man.
even put the foam. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people just throw it in the case and just say it's a gun. Let it rattle around.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
The mags will hold it in place.
Yeah. So, Dan, did you figure something that really disappointed you?
I was going to talk about something that I really liked.
All right, let's go that way.
Okay, Live Free Armory's coming out with a double stack 1911
Ooh,
optic ready
yeah.
called Apollo 11.
Yeah.
And the MSRP on that, they said, and I don't know if you guys noticed, and it's not too unusual, but a lot of the new production, many places didn't even have an MSRP. They're saying we're still working on that.
Yeah.
Because
my Live Free Armory video is coming out tomorrow, folks. Make sure you check back in.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that is a great looking pistol.
Yeah.
And
Apollo
so
11.
let's talk about best bargain. I thought everything on the LFA booth was a bargain. They have decked out 308 AR-15 for under $1,000. It's a beautiful gun. Make sure that you watch the video tomorrow, folks. And even their base guns, they have 9mm carbines decked out, full rifles for like $650.
Yeah.
That's
It's
MSRP.
crazy.
So street price might be cheaper. And I was like, man, that's a hard price to pass up. And I love 9mm, ARs. It takes Glock mags. You guys know how much I love Glocks.
Yeah, you can mag dump those 9mm. Really cool.
29 rounds I can mag dump it. I don't want to get caught by YouTube.
Got a mag dump, man. So there's a up and coming rifle company called 5150, and I went and saw him last year. Great guy, but he has a rifle disassemble that is so cool. And I saw it last year, and I didn't do anything with it. I made a video. It's not up yet, but it's got a cam, so you hit this lever, and the upper and lower just break apart. No pins to remove. You could change the barrel.
Oh, that's cool.
You could change the barrel in the upper and throw a different caliber in there with a different mag. There's so much you could do with it. It is so cool. I'm talking less than 10 seconds.
And it's called 5150.
51, then spelled out 50, 5150. And so I was in touch with him afterward. He's got a AR-AK combination that I'm interested in. He said he's going to build a demo for me in X39. So I'm looking forward to that. And he's got some things going on there that are, I think, going to be accepted well in the gun world.
Let's check the chat real quick. Nutty375 says Smash Time is going to be standing in line at Academy again soon. It's going to go back up, down, dry up. No, I think ammo is going to stay pretty constant.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, it's still like overpriced. Buy it online, folks. Or go to 2awarehouse.com. 2awarehouse.com. They have the best prices on the internet. 2awarehouse.com. Dan with his car tease vid has me looking forward to the NRA show whenever they unveil it. Oh, I know. You're talking about that double stack car, right?
Yeah,
Are you just spreading rumors, Dan? What's going on?
No, I talked to Justin Moon as well as some other guys at the car showroom, and they are serious about this. And there are some things on this. And people say, well, how much different can it be? Well, there are certain things that can make anything can be improved upon. And so it's not going to be so mouth-dropping that you're not going to believe it, but perhaps a little bit, because they are keeping the car pattern, but they're doing a couple other things without revealing anything, because I did tell Justin Moon, owner CEO, that I would not, but he said, yes, you can announce it, but the things I'm going to tell you, we want to remain just with us at this moment. And so I did give a teaser video, but I also wanted to let everybody know, because people have been beaten up on car for years because they have not really innovated. They have a P9, they put a rail on it and something else, made it all black, and they're calling it a Gen 2.
Right.
It didn't excite anybody. I have a P9. I have no desire to get that. I have a huge desire to get this double stack.
All right. Nutty 357 says the EAA DS 1911 look pretty sweet. The 2311s, they do look amazing. And it's a lot of them. And for under $1,000, I think the fit and finish was pretty good. Pretty good.
Can we go back to what was disappointing?
Sure.
Yeah, the EAA 1911s.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, it's just, you know what? You spoiled me when you came up here with the Saints and, the CZs that we shot and all that. I just felt like it didn't live up anywhere near. It's, okay, it's $1,000 gun. I get it.
They're really aiming to take away the Rock Island Armory. They're trying to take the steam away from them, because you can buy a Rock Island for like $750 or spend another $200 or $150 and get what it feels like 10 times better than the Rock Island.
Well, they may not have to, because Rock Island does a good job of that themselves. But the EAA was not. It just didn't strike me as something I really wanted to get. And I think it's a little bit because I'm spoiled with what I've already shot. Now,
Kyle, did you check any of those out?
Did they have I didn't actually see the whole booth. Did they have a whole booth there?
Yeah. EAA is another company, Dan. They had a little booth downstairs. They had one upstairs. They had the big one upstairs, but they actually had a little booth downstairs too.
I might have walked by there.
They had about 6 or 7 double stack 1911s, 2311s they're calling it, that are coming out in about 2 months. They look pretty all right.
Where are they made?
They're made in Turkey, of course.
So this is another Turkey company. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
Well, they weren't always, Kyle. They had the Tanfolio Witness line and the Tanfolio products for a number of years.
Okay.
And there was one little problem with that. And I'm not casting blame on anybody, but it was hard to get a Tanfolio. They called it the EAA Tanfolio. It's not an EAA Tanfolio. It's Tanfolio. And they were hard to find, and they did a poor job marketing. Now, that's an expensive gun. They lost that Tanfolio contract to Italian Firearms Group, and the Italian Firearms Group are selling the Witness series is now done. It's called the Defiant series, and that is Tanfolio now. However, I think they got dropped because they didn't market very well. They did a horrible job. You never saw anything in print or video with the Witness line. Very seldom. And if you did, somebody bought it. It wasn't produced by EAA. But now they have the GearKnowHow line. It's a much cheaper product, and they're getting it out to reviewers, and I think that's good. I'm all for that. But a little bit of a rough history in my experiences with EAA.
I actually have a GearKnowHow review that dropped about 2 weeks ago, folks. Please check that out. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it'd be like this.
Kyle, what else did you see at the show that stood out? I'm curious to hear, because you were in places I wasn't. So
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so the Oracle Arms. Someone mentioned the 2311 from Witness, but Oracle Arms has that 2311 that takes SIG mags.
I missed it,
which is pretty cool. Now, I did get to shoot it at range day, and it's pretty nice. It's interesting mostly because the grip angle is different than your typical 2011 because it is a SIG mag from a P320. But again, the price point is pretty steep for what it is. I think it's like in the twos, so it's pretty up there for a 2011 that just happens to take a different kind of magazine. But it was cool. They had a smaller booth in the Caesars Forum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A-Dubs has a question. He says, will Colt be the downfall of CZ?
Ooh.
No comment.
I can't see why they would be. The Colt's biggest problem was Colt. They relied so many years on government contracts, and then when they lost those contracts, the majority of them to FN, then at that moment, they started reaching out to the civilian market. Okay, so I don't think that Colt has the ability to bring down CZ. Quite the opposite. I think CZ has the ability to bring Colt up.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
Yeah, and a couple years ago, I remember when they had the 6920 AR platform, just bare bones, no fancy rails, no grips. It was just Colt. It was $11.99, and everyone else is coming down in price with all the accessories, Magpul this, Magpul that. It's like 5-6 years ago, and the 6920 stayed the same for years, and nobody bought it. They buy it and then change all their furniture on it. And I just kept thinking, I was like, I wanted to buy one so bad. I ended up getting one. And I sold it, and I bought 2 Rugers for the same price almost. They relied on their name for too long, and they were so late to the AR market.
Well,
as far as dressing up their ARs to sell,
I'm convinced if Colt did not lose the government contracts, we would not see new Pythons, new revolver line of everything they have, King Cobra and Cobra. I don't think we would see that because they could care less about the civilian market. And we're starting to see bits and pieces of that with SIG. They've got the Army sidearm now.
Yep.
And so why go to SHOT? Why put forth the investment and your manpower and everybody in Vegas when you have guaranteed contracted money coming in for your guns? We see that with FN. FN outrageously priced. Great products, never had a problem, but they're outrageously priced for what you get. It makes the 6920 seem cheap.
Yeah.
And I had one of those too, by the way.
Dale in the chat agrees with you. Colt is the downfall is Colt. Colt's downfall is Colt.
Yeah, they are. But I think CZ knows how to do it. I will tell you guys. And Kyle, I'm sorry if I'm taking up too much airtime. I'll shut up after this. But there was once a time CZ was just another manufacturer. They were nothing special at all. And they had government contracts too, not just with America, well, none with the US, but all throughout the world in military and police with their 75s. But they did a phenomenal job marketing. And next thing you know, they're creating new ones. They're creating prettier ones. They're creating guns and that you're starting to see on video and big ones and small ones and polymer frame. And now, boy, the CZ showroom was packed the whole time. And it's been like that. It wasn't always like that. So they're masters of marketing. I think they'll do a good job with Colt. I hope they'll bring it back. So far, there was nothing that I saw new, but it seemed to be pretty good. I don't know if the Colt history will remain within their guns, but I say give them some time. It's all still very new. And then COVID hit, and that affected all these manufacturers.
Yeah. All right, Kyle. So what else did you see that was, did you see anything that was really unique that stood out or new or shocking?
New or shocking?
Or just something you're like, man, that's kind of cool.
Well, like I said, I thought the Bond Arms was kind of new and shocking because Bond Arms is Derringers. I mean, they're like smaller handguns, and they come out with a rifle. And not only that, it's a lever gun that takes AR mags and multiple calibers.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
It's just kind of like an interesting, like, okay, so and it's gonna be around that 1,500 mark. So it's not a terrible price for lever guns nowadays. I mean, they've all kind of gone up in price.
A lever gun is kind of a pain to load, but if you could just swap mags.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a
29 round mags, YouTube. If you could swap
exactly.
your 29 round magazine, that would be sweet.
Sometimes 28.
It's hard to mag dump it. You look like you have terrible.
You could do it. You could mag dump. I know you could.
So real quick, I saw a knife company that's brand new, and they were downstairs, and it was just you walk by, and it was just an attention getter. They had this real slim. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram. It's called Acaso knives, and it's like if you're wearing a business suit and you want to EDC a knife. I mean, they're carbon fiber with oh god, what is that steel called?
Like Damascus
steel, carbon fiber. It weighed almost nothing. It felt like it weighed like 2 ounces, but man, it was just sexy. I want to get one so bad.
You know, I kicked
that was
myself.
something I saw that was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't see any blade companies. Like I didn't stop by. I just like walked by. Like you know, they had Kershaw and they had Spyderco and all those guys. Usually I stop by, but I didn't get a chance this time. But they had a lot of new stuff out. It looked like behind the glass cases.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing that did kind of impress me because I'm in the market for right now is Midwest Industries. So they're traditionally for handguards. They do a lot of like optic rails and things like that. So they came out with that new line of Alpha Series, a brand new AK stock that works with the Picatinny rail piece. They're coming out with the Picatinny rail piece that works on any AKM with some fitment here and there. And then they also have 2 different lengths of handguards, like a 6-inch and a 10-inch, that slap onto any AKM handguard, which I was looking to do to upgrade one of my old PSA guns and do like a whole upgrade video. And here's Midwest coming out with a really affordable option because prior to that, it's a lot of custom shops that do a lot of AK stuff like that.
Did you make a video of this, sir?
I did. Check it out. GearKnowHow on YouTube.
Did it drop already?
It did.
GearKnowHow on YouTube, and then everyone's already subscribed to Dan.
Oh, you got to subscribe to me too. Come on, guys.
Me the People says Smash likes the blade so he can wear skinny pants. Yes, that's exactly right. Jesus says he likes the Canik Mete MC9. Man, it comes with a holster. It comes with everything. Already drilled for an optic for $399. You can't beat it.
I've never had a problem with Canik. I have 4 of them. I mean, like
I just have one. I have no issues.
Yeah, there's no issues. I mean, it's a good all-around firearm, and rightfully so. The fact that it probably, for the price point, like it opens the market for so many more folks who want to get into concealed carry, or because otherwise you're looking at like, High Points and like Skies and all the cheaper ones, right? But these guys aren't that much more, and they're premium built firearms. They really are. And they just run. Plus the triggers are all the same and they're perfect.
Just bringing your channels up, folks.
Well, to follow up on that, I currently have 3 Canics, and they run phenomenal.
Yep.
And 2 of them are optic ready. The FSX, boy, I've had that one since its launch, and in order to mount an optic, you have to take the whole rear sight off and everything, and they corrected all of that with updated models. One thing about Canic, though, is as their models got better and they became more popular, and we're already seeing the same thing with Palmetto and the Dagger. It's a $300 gun, then all of a sudden they have a $450 gun, then they have an $800 gun.
Right.
So it's not the budget friendly that we're used to.
You can't blame them. You can't blame them. They make a solid gun. It sells really quick. I mean, the Dagger went up a couple bucks.
Well, but they do upgrade it. They put a threaded barrel on there. They put, what the heck are carry cuts? Is that little indentation in the slide? They make a big deal about carry cuts.
So it slides in the holster easier.
That's stupid. Hey, this is suited with carry cuts.
It's revolutionary.
It is. It's a revolutionary cut, sir.
Yeah, it's a revolutionary cut.
Hey, I want to talk about one more thing.
Sure.
I really enjoyed SAR Arms. They've been making revolvers for years under Sarsolmaz and Turkey, but they're bringing a 4-inch and a 6-inch revolver. Doesn't even have a name yet. It's just a SAR revolver in 357 6-shot, and I want one of those. And they also have a compact size SOCOM, which is basically a SAR 9 that is Cerakoted OD green, and it has all the bells and whistles: the threaded barrel, the optic ready, the nice ergos, a 17 and a 221 round mags. Stay tuned.
I got to shoot a SAR 9 before. It's a pretty solid gun.
And the price is right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the things. Prior to the buying surge, a SAR 9 was $230, $250.
No way.
There. Yeah.
Clearance price all the time. It was great.
Yeah. And
That's
then
a great gun for $230.
Right. Right. But they also have the subcompact now. About 6 months ago, maybe longer, people were reviewing the subcompact, but they never had the subcompact. They didn't even have them in the country. SAR just said, look, these are on their way. They floated a couple pictures out there. Everybody's doing reviews, and it wasn't even in the hands of anybody. Now they have them, and they're looking at probably a 3-month lead time.
Dang, 3 months. Well, we got Boss Hog in the chat. Speaking of Sky, hey, Smash Time. So he let me borrow a Sky for a comparison video, and we have just not been meeting up. So what's up, man? What are you doing for lunch tomorrow, bro? Let's go get some barbecue and give you back your gun. The Armsman Glock 47 was impressive. Said no one ever.
Was it? Yeah.
SAR K12 is nice. 10 volume and CZ clone.
I honestly walked straight through the Glock booth and just kept going. Like I had
zero interest.
I had no interest in thinking to do anything.
Zero interest in Glock anything.
The K12 is very nice. That is a 45 ACP, and it is a Tanfolio CZ clone, and it's about $400 less.
It looks nice.
All steel.
Yeah, looked pretty nice.
You know what actually impressed me was Beretta. So Beretta, I mean, they have the same booth, I think, at every show now, because I've walked through it all the time, but they had a couple of new shotguns. They're bringing out a cheaper line of like their A series or something to kind of compete with the fact that the 1301 Tactical they can't keep in stock. And that also has gone up in price too. But the new Cheetah, did you guys see that? The 80X?
No.
Yeah, a little 380 Cheetah. I mean, I know they used to make a compact 92FS years ago. They stopped making it, and that was like the wife's favorite gun to shoot. She loved one of those, and we used to have a couple of friends who had them. But the Cheetah is a fun little gun too. I mean, it's just like a mini 92FS, and now they kind of upgraded it to a little bit cleaner looks and a little bit more modern railing and all that. It's a cool little gun. Fits good in the hand.
Go to sleep. You're getting heavy.
Bedtime.
Yeah, I didn't spend much time. The Beretta booth actually was more busy than the CZ booth.
Oh yeah,
And it was all enclosed, so all the sound stayed inside the room, and it was hard to navigate through. And one thing I got sick. This you guys may agree. I have never seen so many people walk up to every single handgun, and rack the slide and pull the trigger 10 times in a row. One after another, and everywhere I turn, I'm seeing the exact same thing. I don't recall that as much. And one other thing, this was the SHOT Show year that did not include many shotguns at all, because I really wanted to see something interesting in the shotgun market, and I saw very, very little. I saw a bunch of old production being showcased, but not much on the new end. And I was really hoping to see something new that's perhaps a little different. And when I finally did, I got so excited. A double barrel pump action, sort of like the DP12, but a little bit different. Had mag tubes that held like 8 each. I'm like, this is cool. Super heavy, not available in the US.
I saw this gun. Check this out. I'm going to share a screen real quick, but it was pretty cool. Choose what to share. What are you talking about? Entire screen. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, is that it?
A double-barreled shotgun. It was stupid. It was so cool. So I asked the lady who did not speak a lick of English where I could buy it. She goes, "It's not for sale in the US." I go, "Why the freak is it here then?"
Yeah.
Teasing me.
That's the exact same one I was just talking about.
Wow.
That was downstairs. So cool. See, now you were right next to 5150 rifles. That's the exact same one I was talking about. Isn't that thing cool? Super heavy.
That thing is so freaking cool. And this lady, God bless her,
she was covering. The lady was covering.
Yeah. Could not speak English, and I was just bummed out. Did you guys see these race guns for the Eli booth?
I didn't see that one specifically.
This guy makes these, and he shoots. Apparently, he's like a big time shooter.
Those are all 22s, right?
One is a 9mm. That's a 22.
Dang, look at that.
That's they're over in Europe.
Yeah, they're based out of Europe.
Yeah, they do a lot of competition with 22s.
But I thought that was really cool. I mean, that shotgun was really, really cool. I'd buy it in an instant.
So would I. I wanted one, and then the exact same thing happened. But that was the only one that I saw that caught my eye. There was nothing. I can't say, to suggest I was everywhere, but from what I saw, there was nothing new in the shotgun market, and that bummed me out.
Yeah. G-Man says, was Kel-Tec there?
It was.
Yeah, they were there.
The nothing new except for, like he said, Flying Rich, their KSG 410. And I was gonna say the same, P50 carbine. Yeah, essentially a P50 rifle.
The P50 carbine, that's the one that has the weird folding left-right stock, like the wire kind of stock.
Yeah, well, it came out as a pistol that had no stock originally. It was just a weird thing to shoot for $1,000.
Yeah, well, I got to shoot one at IV88 with what do you call it? A sling. So if you push out on a sling, it makes it a little steadier, but it was kind of hard to shoot.
It is, but now they have a carbine with a stock. Let me see what it looks like. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
Kel-Tec is the master of floating something out there and then creating artificial scarcity. And so you have a $200 gun, you find yourself paying $450 for, because if you don't get that one specifically, you won't get one.
What was that 308 they had that would eject the shells out of the front?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I wanted that. I saw it and I was like, God, I really want that.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember the name of it though. Come on, help me out, chat. Someone's
Someone
Googling
in
it.
the comment. Yeah. I've actually shot them before. They're really cool. I mean, almost like a bullpup feel.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. So
RFB.
the RFB, yeah, that's it.
RFB. It's cool.
Did you guys notice how many airsoft companies were there this year? There was
A
like 3 or
ton.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool stuff.
Well, they're big competitions.
Yeah, there's one called Legacy that has a Chiappa Rhino airsoft gun. It looks so real, and they also have a double stack 1911 that looks and feels like a Staccato. Has almost the same weight, but it's airsoft. Pretty cool. The stuff they're doing now. They also there's another one that had identical XDM clones from Springfield Armory. They had 4 or 5 XD clones in airsoft, and they looked, felt, and functioned just pretty dang close.
I think we have to take a minute and talk about Cossaint.
I think we should I was going to save it to the end, but you're right. Cossaint really came out strong.
And one thing I like about Greg, because this was the first time I got to meet him in person and sit down and talk to him, is that he really does have a passion. You know, he's not so big where they mass produce guns and just ship them out, and you know they fire half a mag through it and send them on their way. Like he is a custom production, is how he explained it to me. Custom production. Yep. So you get to tell them what you want, how you want it. In many cases, it's just the color or the type of grip, or a flat trigger versus a curved. His is so much more. And I got even more excited after spending that time with you, shooting those 3, and also seeing what he had in his showcase. And it was just nice to see, because you look at Staccato and some of the other big ones, Alpha Foxtrot, you know, all these people are swarming their booths, and right down the hallway you have a guy that'll do custom production for the same cost. And many would argue, I can't verify this so much, I suppose I should say I would argue, that it's equally as fine, if not better.
Staccato, yes. Masterpiece, no. But what's cool about that gun is like you said, it's semi-custom, and the turnaround time is like 3 weeks to your FFL. By the time you order it to your FFL is like 3 weeks, which is insane for a custom gun. Because like an Atlas Athena, it took my buddy 2.5 months, and even the Masterpiece, that's like 3-4 months sometimes. So I mean,
I didn't see Masterpiece.
No, they don't do SHOT Show.
No. They used to.
They're spending all their money now. I believe he said he was spending it more in like the long range competitions and doing different shows. Like I think he'll be at NRA.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of a niche thing, you know, because their bread and butter is their bolt guns, their high mileage bolt guns.
Oh, speaking of bolt guns, so do you guys go to Bergara?
I walked by. I didn't spend any time there.
I wish I went in there.
Fill us in.
Yeah, I've been looking at them. So I did a full video on it already. Video's live. GearKnowHow. Check it out. And so Bergara has been innovating in trying to think about lighter weight things for cheaper prices, right? So everyone's trying to get into that premium precision rifle. There's some tactical models. There's like strict hunting models that are super lightweight with carbon fiber barrels and all that. And they came out with several like new pricing options that really super competitive for precision shooting. And I did a whole video on it, and they got all different models. Like I think like the B14 model, whatever it is, that one is like their main one that's like, like under $1,300 for a precision rifle. It's just crazy. And they shoot, and I shot one at range day in the wind, in the torrential rain, 900 yards, just pinging them with 6.5. Crazy.
Yeah. Christians at Arms came out with a new stock. I forget what they call it, but they have a new carbon fiber custom stock. It only comes in one color, and that thing is pretty sweet. Super light. I don't know if I'd want to shoot a bolt gun that light.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yep.
Like I had a Tika T3 light in 308. That sucker would punch like a 338. It was such a light gun. It was fun, but it kind of sucked to shoot at the same time.
Yeah, it's a nice balance there.
For everyone's entertainment, I put a link to Kyle's channel in the chat. It's GearKnowHow. Please open a window, like, subscribe to his channel. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. And also, I'm assuming everyone's already Dan, the Firearm Guy subscriber, but I'm going to post a link to his channel also. Please like and subscribe. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. So let me ask you, Dan, this first. What could SHOT Show have done better?
I was pleased with the layout. I like the hours. I don't go to range day, so I can't speak on that. Kyle could. I know the weather was tough. I don't know. They did a good job this year. Very seldom did I use the app compared to years past, but I thought it was fine. I have nothing to complain about. I thought the management did a fine job. I thought the booths were spread out. There was plenty of walking room. I don't like downstairs because the ceiling's really low and it gets really loud with that sound bouncing everywhere. But upstairs wasn't too bad. And that has nothing to do with the planners of it. But I like what they did with Caesar's Forum, as I mentioned. I think they did a good job.
You know, did you notice they put a lot of the bigger names in Caesar's Forum to kind of spread those guys out? Like they put Save Your Equipment over there, which had another amazing booth.
Yep.
But they put a lot of people over there. So here's what I don't like about Caesar's Forum. Is they constantly play country music or just music in general. And if you're a YouTuber or you're trying to cut, a video, you can't use any of that footage because in the background, there's Tanya Tucker singing her heart away. And I've complained about it last year. I complain about it right now. But if I'm over there and I'm spending all that money, nobody can use that footage they take because they just got to put music over it themselves or just blank it out. But I mean, that music is really loud. You'll hear it in your videos.
The SHOT Show people and many of the manufacturers care the least amount. I shouldn't say the least amount, but the media people think that it's a big deal. The viewers of the people who watch and read the media think it's a big deal. But in terms of the business that takes place and what goes on behind the scenes, the media is not of high priority.
Tiny priority.
Right. And so being a country music fan, I kind of liked it.
I hated it. I was trying to do the Save Your Equipment like time lapse, like a real nice video, and it was just blaring. I was like, God dang it. Brooks and Dunn. I'm like, I like the song, but knock that shit off. I'm trying to make a video here.
Well, you can just roll your camera through stuff and then just B-roll it. I know it's easier to do it all.
I like the Caesar Forum. I think the tall ceilings helped with, if you could do a video, it was a little quieter, a lot less echo. I think some of the big names, like you said, Primary Arms, Save Your Equipment, Zenith Firearms, they got a ton of cool stuff coming out. I talked with those guys a bit. MKE was over there. They have a bunch of like military contracts and stuff now. They're coming out with Sky was over there, which had similar energy to Century Arms because they both are doing giveaways and all that, right? So they're kind of trying to
Sky gave away a ton of pistols.
Yeah, it was like 5 to, I think it was 10 a day, 5 twice a day. Crazy. Which got excitement. Now, I will say, like Dan said, I came to that realization, I think 2 years ago when I went for the first time, I was like, oh, media, I'm a big deal. Like, this is cool. Like, we're here. It is a big deal to get the word out on all this stuff. However, I will say you're right. Vendors, distributors, international buyers. Unbelievable the international presence there. Unbelievable. Like going by HK's booth, they have all those glass rooms. You'll look and there's people from all different continents, like just chilling in that room. They have all their guns set up on the wall. They're walking through contracts. Like there's some serious business going on at SHOT Show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. HK is the second most boring showroom next to Glock.
I don't know. Glock is pretty freaking boring.
Glock is boring. HK second. And I was walking through HK trying to find something a little bit exciting, and they had this big sign said, "New 2023 HK VP9 optic ready." That's not that you. That's the best you can come up with.
That's groundbreaking stuff.
It's been around for like 10 months now.
Yeah. Yeah, but a Glock has the nicest carpet to walk on. Since I had plantar fasciitis in my right foot, any chance I got to walk on a carpet, I was there.
Ooh, the squishy ones too, the memory foam, like 1 inch. Oh man.
That was really nice. Let's see. Jose's in the chat. What's up, buddy? And then here's a question. What's new from Taurus? Taurus had the optics ready revolvers.
They did?
I didn't know revolvers came with optic mounts on it. Dan said it's been out for a while. Different people have done it. Right?
It's a custom thing, right?
I had no idea.
It's production.
No? Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, optics on revolvers is somewhat new. They did a good job. It's all milled right into the top strap of the frame.
Yep.
They did come out with an executive grade judge, which I have no interest in because of 410 and 45 long Colt, both very difficult ammos to find and pay for. But the optic ready revolvers seem okay. They're doing it in the 856 models and the 605, 357. So I might give it a try. I'm not super excited. I'm more excited about the Rossi under the Taurus label, the Rossi 357 than I am with the Taurus.
Taurus also has the 22 competition compact, which was pretty sick.
It's not a competition though, right?
Oh, it might just be the regular
TX22.
TX22
compact.
But it's a red dot on there now too, which is pretty cool. Because I don't
think the regular TX22 has a red dot, but it's mounted on the barrel. This one, it's on the
it's different.
No, but you're talking about the competition. The TX22, unless it came out with optic ready, it did not. The competition did on the hood of the barrel. And so I think what Kyle's saying is that the TX22 compact is also red dot ready, and that's news to me. I did not know that.
I'm gonna look up the image here real quick.
Very cool.
It has TX22 compact out now. It's pretty nice. It feels really good. I mean, the other one felt great too. The original TX22, and it just runs right. So the new one has an optic cut right in front of the rear sight, and then it also has cuts in the barrel, a little more like a competition gun.
So did you guys check out the Holosun night vision?
I did.
I shot it at range day.
Oh, you shot it?
Yeah.
How did it look in the daytime?
That's the thing. It's like it is night vision, and you flip down that front cap, and it turns to a red dot, like a normal, just reflex sight. It looked fine. It basically everything's green when you're looking at it, right? And then it pops a little lighter green for people or whatever you look at. So it's kind of cool.
I thought it looked pretty cool. I mean, I think it's $1,800 or something.
That's the thing. The price point's gonna be good. Thermal is the one that everyone's real excited about, but thermal takes a hit on that battery. So we'll see. They were replacing batteries left and right at shot every couple hours or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But those are prototypes. The ones they had, I talked to those guys quite a bit. Those are the ones that are pretty janky. Like the caps are falling off and stuff. But they were they were just launched the week before, and they had no idea they were coming. So no one really had any intel on it.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty neat, but man, it comes with a pretty heavy price. Like ATN, you can get a pretty decent night vision for like $600.
Yeah, and this is still digital, just like those guys. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I tell you what, it's scary what night vision can do. I have a set of ATN binoculars with night vision. Oh my gosh, you could see pitch black, man. You could see what's going on around you. It's crazy. It's scary what night vision can do. I mean, you ever want to see your neighbors getting it on? Just grab some of those binoculars. You can just see everything.
Oh, I need to get some. So my buddy Ricky T in the chat, I grew up with this guy. We used to run around together back in LA. And he goes, for a guy that watches you to support, you'd think I'd pick up on a little of the language you guys are talking about. Man, Ricky, just like with the car stuff back in the days, I look at the hood and I'm like, that's a motor. I don't know how it works. I know I like it. Yeah, I'm right there with you too, buddy. I'm still learning. Jose says the Smith & Wesson 5.7 looks like junk. The gap on the slide frame fitment lock looks crappy. See, I'm not the only one. If you look at it from the side, there's a huge gap, man. It doesn't look nice. Looks janky.
Smith & Wesson has been janky. They have.
A-Dub says Dan's throwing out free pro tips on nods. Pro tips. That's how
What's nods?
Like night vision that attaches to the helmet. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So that you can get the binoculars, right? Just
yeah. A
little cheaper than the $12,000 they usually pay.
Yeah. So I thought it was cool. And even going back to PSA, I mean, it's not just the pistol, it's not just the dagger, it's not just the rock. I mean, it's that Soviet arms.
Yeah.
Krinkhoff in 5.56. Man, that'd be pretty sweet to get one of those. They have so much cool stuff coming out. PSA, I'll wait for their Blem special, but man, they got a lot of cool stuff coming out.
And they have coffee. What was it? A high caliber coffee or something on the back end there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. The whole video I did on PSA, I didn't talk about their ammo at all.
Oh, I know. They have a ton of new ammo coming out.
Were they showcasing it?
Yeah. A lot of Russian stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Dan, you'd like to know, there's several of those fake channels with the top 5 guns from SHOT Show videos out now. Driving me crazy.
Stealing
now that
footage.
You pointed it out, it's really bothering me.
Oh yeah. With the robot
crazy.
voice?
Everybody in the chat. No, the voices actually sound pretty decent. They just mispronounce some stuff. Everyone in the chat, please don't support those videos. The top 5 guns from SHOT, from like your Madman review, and there's survival something or other. And
yeah, I took a deep dive into this, and
Madman. You said the guy's from Taiwan or something, right?
He's from Vietnam.
The guy's from Vietnam making videos, and all he's doing is cutting and pasting other people's work. Please
listen, to your audience out there, I did my part. I got that guy to take down every video in which I'm included. That was over 4 million views.
Wow.
That he took down, and I created a strike on his channel. You need to do your part and not support these guys like Smash said, because and it's not just in the gun world. If you like, I remember I was watching some videos on certain stocks I'm interested in. When it's an automated voice, it is not to be trusted. If it's a human voice where it's not perfectly scripted, then I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it should be trusted, but at least it's a person putting themselves out there. Anybody can copy and paste information and make it sound professional and steal footage.
I used to watch movie recaps. And I watch it all the time because I don't want to watch the whole movie maybe, but I'll watch a 15-minute recap. And I realize it's just some guy taking cuts of a movie, probably in Russia or something, and then it's all automated. There's nobody really behind
And these are not Americans. And specifically in the gun world, another guy I was in touch with who removed my content, he's in the Netherlands. So one was in Vietnam, one was in the Netherlands. And then when I made my video complaining about these posers, people are like, well, how do you know they never touched the gun? Well, if they actually touched the gun, perhaps they would show themselves touching the gun. Instead, they have to steal footage from people who are working hard with reviews. You didn't see any of those clowns at SHOT Show, but yet their SHOT Show videos are probably doing very well. They don't know what they're talking about. They're complete posers. They most likely never shot a gun in their life. And if they did, big deal. They're not shooting the ones that they're supposedly reviewing. And by the way, it's not even them reviewing it. It's an automated, it's a voiceover that you can copy and paste. You can go to any gun review website and just steal it all and throw it in there. And steel content. And
Yeah,
they are,
Gort in the chat says the frauds don't show themselves at all. That's true.
Nope.
yeah.
B Watt 75 is in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? A-Dub says, hopefully with the new 5.7 Smith & Wesson, FN will drop the cost of their 5.7 by another 100. I don't know.
If they did
Didn't
not
FN come
do
out
it
with
with the
10 mil?
Ruger, they're not going to do it with Smith and Wesson.
Didn't FN
I will
have the-
venture to. Sorry, am I cutting you off?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I would venture to guess that if 5.7 does make a huge comeback, which all indications are pointing to it is, that the Ruger will still outsell the Smith, even though Smith is hot off the presses.
Yeah, it has interchangeable mags with their carbine too. That's kind of nice. But
Yeah.
did you guys look at the FN 510? Their 10 millimeter?
I did, yeah.
How'd you
Yeah.
like that?
I mean, it's like the 509. I mean, it's just a little bit, maybe a little bit beefier, but felt good.
Did you like the
Yeah,
trigger on it?
I can't recall. I mean, I thought FN had a very standard trigger because I was messing with the whole line. They had the 509s, they had the 510 right there. I think the trigger was just kind of like stock. You know, it wasn't like anything spectacular. And I was like, I mean, it's cool. I've actually always wanted a 509 just for fun, but I've heard such mixed reviews about them.
Real
Well, they use that
gritty
hinge trigger. And much like the Dagger and the M&P lines, they use the hinge trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not horrible, but it's not great either. But it's the same thing with their 545. This was supposed to be a big deal. Nice gun, 45 ACP, but it's basically a 509 and 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're calling it 545 because it's got a 5-inch barrel.
Gort says he can't believe FN stayed with the hinge trigger on their 510. So my buddy Mike has two 509s, and the trigger is so gritty. It feels like someone poured sand in it, and it's kind of crap.
So the hinge trigger on Smith & Wessons is a lot like that.
And
so
those
I'll
have,
switch them out.
I said earlier, FN is outrageously priced, but you ever notice on the used market, at least where I'm at, the 509s are selling cheap because nobody wants to buy them.
Yeah. And then the PSA Dagger has a hinge trigger, and I just recently switched mine out because it felt the same way. It had kind of like a gritty feel, so I switched it out for a normal like Glock style safety.
Oh, really? Let me ask you something. Was it hard to take apart that frame of the Dagger? Did you have to like grab a sledgehammer to get those roll pins out?
Oh, you know, actually, there's like what, 3? I think like one of them, yes.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, one was pretty rough.
Bam, bam.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then later I found out that I wasn't the only one, that this is a thing with the Dagger. Like to do a full disassemble on that was
It's tight.
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
But
We call
everything
that
else
PSA perfection.
It's all over
Tight
the
tolerance.
forums too. It's all over the forums. So when I hear you say you switched out the trigger, which I would do, I think the Dagger trigger is not good.
Yeah, I switched it out. It's great now.
Yeah. See, no, who'd you go with?
Ooh. Oh man.
All right. Well,
I forget what it was.
out,
I think it's not Apex. It's like something random I found on sale. I'm gonna do a new build of the PSA Dagger and kind of update it.
that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like I think it was like might have been a wolf or something. I can't remember. I was looking. I think I had the box around here somewhere. I was messing with it the other day.
Well,
But
is it Glock compatible?
Yeah, it's a Glock Gen 3 trigger. Yep.
Yeah.
Was it
okay.
a
So any Glock Gen 3 trigger, you could throw in the Dagger.
Exactly. That's and it's
Okay.
pretty easy to do. Yeah, any Glock Gen 3.
I don't want to take apart that frame again.
Yeah. You
Oh
just
my-
pop out a couple pins, you pull out that whole trigger assembly with the spring, put it back in, away
Yeah.
you go. And it
Yeah.
runs great.
Cool.
That's awesome. So Kyle, what do you got? What do you got new coming up on your channel? Did you finish your barrage of SHOT Show vids? You got any more dropping?
Yeah, for the full videos, I did about I think I only did like 7 this year. I mean, we were just too busy running around talking and hanging out with everybody. But and it was a great show. I mean, from a networking perspective, just meeting a lot of new folks. So I did most of my videos already. I have a bunch of stuff for Instagram, for like reels and stuff. I can fill in, like especially range day. I filmed a bunch of little shorts and things like that. So expect to see some more down the road here. I'll just kind of slowly trickle it in there just for fun.
Nice.
But overall coverage is good.
G-Man R-Man says, rumors Bushmaster is back.
It is.
Any validity to this? Yes, they are. I was so
Yeah.
excited to see that booth. I mean, their guns still look pretty
Basic.
plain Jane,
Yeah.
but it's nice to see him back.
Well, they were bought. Who bought them?
PSA, right? Didn't PSA buy him?
I don't know.
Who bought him? No, PSA has DPMS.
Yes.
Who bought Bushmaster?
Someone had to have.
Well, maybe somebody could let us know.
Someone in the chat, please let us know. What about you, Dan, the man? What else do you have coming out?
5150 rifles. I think you'll be impressed with the innovation that they did with these and how easy it is to take apart the rifle, and the trigger is just mind-boggling to me. It's just so nice. It's very refined. MSRP on it $17.76. So
That's
I think
cheap.
it's fair for a quality rifle. Can't wait to get one in my hands, put a nice optic on that, and see what it could do. So I've got that review coming out, and then I'm done with SHOT Show stuff. I made 6 videos.
Yeah, I mean, I got just that one tomorrow, and that's it.
How much you make?
You know, I did some of those 360 videos. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Some people really loved it. Like, oh my God, that's so cool. And some were like, you're not going up and looking close at anything. Like, look, man, it was a test run.
It's a tour
Unfortunately,
of
the
SHOT.
360 vids, it's like a gig every minute. So if you upload it on a Las Vegas internet, it takes 4 hours. It's the upload is so slow, and just to cut that video out of the 360 format takes forever. It's like 10 times longer. So I think next year it's going to be a lot. I'm going to try and do like a 20-minute 360 up close vid of SHOT, and then just bite the bullet and let it run all night and upload it. It'll take probably 2 days to upload.
Oh, I know. The internet was garbage.
Yeah.
Even the media room wasn't very good this year for the internet.
You know where it's really good? Mardi Gras Hotel and Casino.
Oh my God. Here we go.
$36 a night.
Oh, Mike, we're gonna have to take that walk over there.
Great.
I might have to try it, man, because honestly, if it wasn't for me getting a hookup at Harrah's, I don't think I would do it. I really want to stay at Venetian.
I've got a living room. I've got a bedroom. The water works. 2 sinks in the room. It's great.
Vibrating
food's
bed,
amazing. I love it. I will always go. So long as I'm solo, I'm going to Mardi Gras.
You probably have a better shower than Harrah's did. Harrah's shower was awful.
Oh, it's terrible.
It was like pointed at the wall. Like
it was so
yeah,
bad.
I had a phenomenal shower.
I don't know. What do you think? 20-minute walk?
It's called Uber, Kyle.
Maybe more like 40.
40
minutes.
Well,
they had construction. I don't know if you heard me earlier. They had construction on Sands Boulevard, so you had to walk around the Raider Stadium. It took you about at least another half mile.
Well, I know that I met the GM for Circa, and he says he'll just give us rooms and stuff. But man, it's like a 20-minute.
Oh, Circa. You know who stayed there?
Yeah.
Demolition Ranch.
Yeah.
They hooked him up. Yeah. So maybe, I mean, it's cool.
Now, next year, everyone's going to stay there trying to find Matt.
Yeah.
They're going to be like sitting in the lobby. He's coming out.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. The Bushmaster, by the way, was purchased by Freedom Group.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they own a bunch of different companies. But yeah, I did walk by Bushmaster's.
Hang on. No, they're talking 10 years ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Someone new bought them.
Okay, that would make sense. Wyndham would make sense.
Do you think Wyndham actually bought them? Back? Well, I think Bushmaster was Wyndham at one point, right?
Oh, okay. Well, they're both still around. Legion Precision. Yeah, those look super cool.
I have some pictures of that somewhere.
They have a horrible website because I went to it and I wanted to learn more about it, and there was very little to learn. And in order to get a price, you had to make an account with them. I
No,
just don't like that kind. It's not user friendly.
no.
So Bushmaster moved to Nevada,
Interesting.
and someone must have invested in that company because they were not in Nevada before. They were, I think, a New York company.
And we could say what we want about Bushmaster rifles, but FAFO just said the ACRs, those are top shelf rifles made by Bushmaster. And if anything is going to model an FN Scar, it would be an ACR.
Super
Really
popular.
nice. Really
And
nice.
they're really popular in video games. So a lot of new shooters are into them.
Yeah, they look cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for sure. Franklin Armory. You know, I saw their booth. I didn't stop. I didn't have enough time.
They're kind of unique. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I really want to get from them. I mean, they came up with a lot of different, like, the triggers and stuff like that they have.
Oh, he says he thinks it's Franklin Armor that purchased them.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. This is the Smash Time show, so there's no facts given here.
Hey, I got a split, guys.
Guns and mag dumps.
Oh, okay.
Again, everybody, this is Dan, the firearm guy. I put a link to his channel down below. Please like, subscribe to his channel. I'm sure he'd greatly appreciate it. And also, I'm putting in the chat Kyle from GearKnowHow. If you want to know how your gear works, unintended, you subscribe to Kyle.
And he'll even work on the PSA dagger.
Oh, well, not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube.
Right.
Oh, that's a whole nother video.
Just
But hey, man,
call
thank
me.
you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys coming on. Everyone in the chat. I tried to get to most of your comments. Sorry if I didn't, but I appreciate all you guys watching. You guys do the send off. Come on.
Well,
guys.
I would like to thank you, Smash and Kyle. Good to see you again. I got to hang out with you a bit in Vegas. That was nice. We had never met before, and it's good to see you again. I wish you the best, and we could stay in touch if you like. Smash, thanks for having me on. I enjoyed it. I like it that you play the comments. It's because I don't see that on my end, and it's really cool. You have a great following here. You do a great show, and it's always my pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Top
Yeah.
that, Kyle.
I know. I was gonna say, well, I'll reiterate all that. I mean, great hanging out with you guys. Dan, great meeting you. I mean, I had some delicious wings in Vegas. So
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Or midnight hot wings.
midnight snack. Yep. So yeah, no, thanks so much for having me on the show again, Mike. Great time. Smash, do a great job with this thing, and yeah, it's good topics.
All right. Till next time, guys. Till next time.